Hello everyone, welcome to PSIR 300 Plus channel. My aim is very simple here, my dear students. Those who are a part of my mains classes, test series and mentorship program, I'm gonna put my heart and soul so that you will get close to 350 marks in the mains PSIR optional. Because it is very evident with respect to the strategy of our mains examination that if you are very good and scoring high in optional subjects, then you are very close to get the mains cutoff too. That is the reason we have to pursue one single goal here. The goal is very simple. Optional driven mains cutoff marks we have to get. So that is what also we are trying to do. Okay. So in the description and on the slides also the number is there. You can just call or message to that particular number. One of my executive will connect to me. Then let us have a demo session. I will try to find out your weaknesses, your strength, how much you have learned. Let us strategize and make a roadmap for you free of cost. You don't join, doesn't matter, but it is very important that as a student you have to connect to me so that at least I'll give you some advices on which you can work. That will be a free demo session. Whatever I will tell you, you can take it as a silver, golden, diamond words and you can do on it. Or else you can be a part of my mentorship program, test series and classes program and learn better in the way that I teach and may sync with your mindset and the approach of the examination too. So let us now start our topic. Today we'll be discussing grassroots level democracy institutions. Grassroots level democracy, which was introduced in the form of Panchayat Raj institutions, municipalities and municipal corporations. With regard to the evaluation, the origin of the Panchayat Raj institution in our country, you have already studied in Polity Lakshmikant or Bakshi or DD Basu whatsoever or in any of the institutes compendium. So I'm not going into that preliminary part of Panchayat Raj institution because our topic is related to Panchayat Raj, so I'm not using the words municipalities and corporation. Let us stick to what PRIs at this point of time. And you know that whenever I come and discuss a topic on this channel, I'll definitely try to give you that whether the topic is related to our syllabus or not. I'll definitely show you with the help of a screenshot of the syllabus itself. And I'll try to show you that whether on this topic there have been any questions asked by the UPSC in PSIR optional or not. Because all of these things will give you confidence and also give you consistency to come to my channel and learn from me. And also you can sit relaxed that everything is going authentic and everything is going what? According to the syllabus. That is my main intention. Okay. Before going into the discussion, I'll just like to tell you what is the meaning of grassroots level democracy. Little bit about me. I am working at practicing advocate Telangana High Court and 10 plus years of experience I have with regard to teaching UPSC and state PSC as an educator. Worked in governmental and leading pan-India institutions of UPSC coaching imparting institutions and mentored around 1000 plus students, took around 100 plus batches. That is very common thing that I have already done. So let us now talk about Panchayat Raj institution. Why do we call them as grassroots level democracy? So let us suppose this is a plant and here you are having roots and this is your what I say is that roots, these are like shrub, then you are having what tree, then this is what complete canopy, right or wrong? So here at this two level you can see Panchayat Raj institution, this is municipalities and municipal corporations. Stem here is what basically stem here is state government and the canopy, the emergent layer of the tree, we can call it as central government. So we are talking about grassroots level democracy. That is why we say this is grass, this is root and this is grass. Actually they should say that root and grass democracy, but that does not sound so rhyming. That's why they are telling us grassroots level democracy. I guess the word that we are using, how we are able to compare and that logic that you have understood. So I'm not going into the origin of Panchayat Raj institution. You might be aware of it because you have already learnt in Polity Lakshmikant or Bakshi or DD Basu whatsoever or any of the institute compendium. Okay, introduced by 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, then committees were appointed. The first committee was appointed. It was first introduced in the form of a program called as CDP, Community Development Program. Later on, a committee was appointed, National Extension Service Committee by Balwant Rai Mehta Committee, then Ashok Committee, GV Rao Committee. In between, small committees are also there. Then constitutionalization happened with respect to what Singhvi committee. Then we are having the functions, then we are having the articles, and the eligibility criteria are there with regard to conducting election or to the tenure of the Panchayat Raj institutions. All of this you might have already learned in your as a preliminary knowledge. Now let us see that how PRIs reforms and working. Panchayat Raj institutions, what reforms we work and how they are working. So in this area, we are going to talk about, first of all, we are going to talk about today in our lecture, we are talking about challenges of or issues or bottlenecks in Panchayat Raj institutions. Remember this point, whenever you come across the word bottlenecks, it is nothing but, let us see, this is a water bottle is there. Okay. And this is the neck of the water bottle. Neck of the water bottle is narrow or not? Yes. Everything looks very, very good. Panchayat Raj institution has been established, 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, and number of functions, 29 functions are given, state governments are conducted, very good act, everything is properly written, but bottleneck, but here what is there? Some issues are there, some challenges are there that need to be removed. That is why we use the word bottleneck here. So today in our discussion, we are talking about challenges with regard to PRIs. Then in the next lecture, we'll be talking about the way forward. Then we'll also talk about the evaluation, means over a period of time how Panchayat Raj institution has transformed the grassroots level democracy. These three important questions. One question is definitely for the mains examination, okay, for 2025 or 2026. Let us start our discussion with regard to the challenges. So the question may come in this way or come in any way. If you see challenges, it means you have to definitely write this particular format and you have to use all of this content in your examination. National Panchayati Raj Day, celebrated on April 24 every year, reminds us that establishment of Panchayat Raj system is a landmark development towards deepening local governance. But how this institution evolved over a period of time and what are the challenges? How this institution has evolved over a period of time, what are the challenges? So if you look very closely to this particular question, you will understand that there are two important questions are there here. One, it is talking about how the evolution of Panchayat Raj system took place. Then he's also talking about various challenges. You will get around 150 words to answer this, or at most 250 words are there. In 250 words are there means still you are having very less content to write. So you have to write about the evolution that you have studied in the as for the for the prelims purpose with regard to committees. You have to do that evaluation. You should also say that the first introduced was Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh, like that also you have to mention, and you have to mention some committees and which particular committee was now we are applicable. Then constitutionalization of Panchayat evaluation, you should write evolution. Then after that you have to go for the answering the second part of the question, that is challenges. Okay, in between what happened, this is just for my understanding or for my recall, I have put it here. It has nothing to do, but the question will come like this. Okay, so you are having two questions and two questions you have to answer with the adequate content. So whatever the data that I have taken, the data is taken from this a report that is published by Ministry of Panchayat Raj and a study be conducted by Indian Institute of Public Administration. So whatever I am discussing now, it has already there with this particular institution's published report. Okay, right. Let us start our discussion. So these are all the important what I say is that features of my course. You can be a part of it. Let us go ahead. As I've already told you that where do you find this grassroots level democracy in our syllabus? You can see that in the paper 1 section 2 grassroots democracy Panchayat Raj 73rd Amendment Act, right? Here we can find. Along with that we can also find here, because Panchayat Raj institutions or municipalities or corporations are also made by law. That's why they are also statutory institutions. So they may come here also. The same things will go with the GS paper number 2, where you are having polity and governance. In that paper also you are having statutory institutions. So as I have already told you that when you are studying PSIR, you are covering well off with regard to environment, with regard to polity, with regard to local governance, with regard to ethics. A lot of things are intermingling only here. Okay, right. Now let us talk about what challenges. Okay, one by one we'll talk about. I'll give the overview. This particular challenges, some of them are having what data oriented, some of them are conceptual knowledge you need to have to write it. First one, we are having decentralized plateau. So the first challenge is decentralized plateau. Means state government should delegate the power to the Panchayat Raj institutions or not? Yes, but this delegation is not happening. Plateau is nothing but 29 functions are given. This much is there, but it is completely flat. That much of devolution with regard to the powers are not given to our Panchayat Raj institutions, according to the report. Then the second one we are having, I will also try to justify it with the help of the report and the findings. So let us understand first in the qualitative manner, then I will go to the proper content. Understanding is important. Tied and untied grants. Untied grants are those money given to Panchayat Raj institutions where they can use this money according to the local needs of their area or village. They don't have to take the permission from the central government, they can use it according to the local specific needs. Whereas tied grants are those grants where central government says that this has to be used for this particular purpose. So they are purpose specific grants where the PRIs cannot divert the funds under it, whereas they can divert the grants as according to their needs and requirement with respect to what untied grants. So here also one gimmick is happening. The gimmick is very simple. Government is increasing tied grants over untied grants. Nothing but when untied grants are given less. So you can understand that Panchayat Raj institution role is what diminishing. When you are not given powers to carry out developmental activities or carry out funding activities, then what is the use of you? So most of them are what tied grants. It means what government decides something and ask you to implement the so and so developmental activities. For so and so funds are given for that activities. But the panchayat themselves are actually deciding where to spend. No, right? Okay, which is possible in untied grants. So tied grants are more than untied grants, making the role of panchayat institution diminishing over a period of time. With the help of which central government is also trying to control the state government functionaries and also having more say with regard to the developmental activities. Then cash transfer and reduce role of panchayats again. So many of the political parties to come to power, they will say that we will directly transfer the money in your account. Okay, just like Pradhan Mantri Samman Nidhi Yojana is there, implemented by central government. This function is not given to Panchayat Raj institutions. So many of the transfers from the government of India to the state or to the rural or the everyone is going to DBT, direct benefit transfers are happening in the form of what Jan Dhan Yojana. So when the schemes which has to be implemented at the core by the Panchayat Raj institutions, they have been implemented directly by the central government. Then what is the use of what? Having a complete institution itself. Rapid urbanization. At the time of independence, 3/4 of our country was actually in the rural areas. Now it is only 60% lives in the rural areas, and the number of people in the urban areas are continuously increasing. So most of the government policies, whether state or central government policies, are directed towards what? Developing urban clusters, urban centers, urban infrastructures only. So rural infrastructure creation has taken a backdrop in the name of what? Rapid urbanization. Low level of digital literacy. The sarpanch or sarpanch, whoever are there running the PRIs, they are found to be what? Not literate with regard to digital literacy. That is the reason government introduced some technological inputs also like e-gram Swaraj. Okay, in that also they are not able to do much because they don't know how to use the digital devices or the apps that are introduced by the government of India. Then issue of unresolved audit. There are a lot of times are there because of illiteracy, because of no staff in the panchayat Raj institutions allocated by the state government. The amount spent on the various development activities, how much the government gave, how much is funded, how much need to be coming back. Auditing is nothing but trying to find out what expenditure and the revenues of the panchayat Raj institutions. That audit reports are very bad in shape. Okay, and that particular area has been completely unresolved till now. That is a big challenge. Women reservation not uniform. Many of the states are having reservations above close to 50% for the women in Panchayat Raj institutions. But Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, there are some states where the women reservation is less than 50%. So here, women, if it is empowered from the grassroots level only, then only we will have what? Gender parity will come into existence in our society, and women will claim their rightful status as par with what? Men. But that is not happening. Low levels of people participation, as the role of Panchayat Raj institutions are only by having a political status or having a political post, nothing more than that. So people's participation with regard to voting or any kind of consensus or deliberation for a development activities are not happening. Lack of funding. It was in the report said that 40,000 crores has been actually allocated by the state governments, but only 10,000 crores has been given to PRIs. So you are promised 400 rupees but given only 100 rupees. Just imagine that how you will suffer. In the same way that also happened here. Politicization through engagement of political parties, whether it is Panchayat Raj elections, whether it is municipalities elections, whether it is Bombay Municipal Corporation BMC election, the state national level parties are actually pouring in and trying to gain mileage with regard to this local governments also, making it what a very political, very lucrative post. Then this is a very common thing, that is moral aspect, moral problem with regard to Panchayat Raj institution is when the woman is elected as a sarpanch, then it is not her running the show, it is her husband running the show. So that is like absentee female sarpanch has been very commonly seen in this particular, what I say is that, Panchayat Raj institution. So let us see that decentralized plateau you can have here. Okay, as per the report 2022 by the Ministry of Panchayat Raj showed that less than 20% of the states has devolved all 29 subjects in the 11 schedules. 29 functions are given to the Panchayat Raj institution by the constitution in the 11th schedule. But less than 20% of the states have given all the powers to the Panchayat Raj institution. So the number of powers are plateaued but not increasing. Number of powers are plateaued but not increasing. I hope this is clear to you. Tied and untied grants. You can see here tied grants are diminishing. Untied grants are diminishing, which PRIs can use on their own interest with regard to the local needs. Untied grants decrease from 85% in 13th Finance Commission to 60% in 15th Finance Commission. So what is the role of PRIs when they cannot use the funds according to their particular local self needs? I hope this is all clear to you. Rest of them are what I have already told you in a proper way, right? So that does not require much of the statistics. And you can write one more important issue: lack of people participation is there, right? Operational deficiencies are there, means the staff, the Panchayat Raj institutions are lacking what? Permanent staff. Okay, continuously there are 4 people, one is looking after schemes and programs being extended to the people, one is looking with regard to the audit, one is looking with regard to the updation in the technology. That particular staff is missing in PRIs. It has now become more of what? Political post, nothing more than that. I hope this is all clear to you. Okay, and अच्छे से पढ़िए, stay focused and don't waste even 1 minute of your time. The number of reforms along with the updated data that I have given you, इतना भी पढ़ो बस हो जाएगा, ज़्यादा पढ़ने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, उतना लिख भी नहीं सकेंगे. कम से कम याद रखो और अच्छे से याद रखो. ज़्यादा याद रख के कम लिखना अच्छी बात नहीं है. अच्छे से एडुकेटली आप याद रखो और उतना ही लिखो, काम आपका हो जाएगा. ठीक है. ओके, चलो मैं चलता हूँ. एंड डू जॉइन माई टेस्ट सीरीज एंड classes and mentorship. And if you like my lectures, you can also support me. There is a UPI ID in the description. You can do whatever you want to do. Thank you. Take care.